What's going on, guys? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys another live DFS show for tonight's MLB slate. We have a bunch of games to look at tonight, a couple of rain issues, and a little bit of trade deadline action going on today that was pretty exciting. Normally it's a letdown, but I think it was pretty exciting for the most part. Some really good deals were done right before the deadline. And a couple of those guys that were supposed to be in lineups tonight obviously won't be. But if you guys haven't gone onto my Twitter yet, I'm doing a giveaway for the NFL season. It ends on August 3rd. Just retweet and like it to enter yourself in for a possible free cash and GBP season for the NFL. That will be really fun to get going in just over a month from now, so I'm really excited for that. Thought I'd do a giveaway. I'll probably do another one later in August, and we'll really get on our horse with that. We even have a preseason game on Thursday. I'll probably play it, even though it is hard to predict preseason games, but it'll be fun to just jump on the football horse and watch that game. As far as things go tonight, guys, the pitching is pretty decent. I don't think you need to spend up on Trevor Bauer. I couldn't believe last night that Garrett Cole was so low owned. There was really no other stud or confident play in pitching. Everyone had Robbie Ray against the Rangers, which he's been really shaky all year. I was surprised he was so high owned. He ended up not pitching well, and Cole did. We easily cashed in on FanDuel and DraftKings last night, so it was a fairly easy win due to the fact that Robbie Ray was so high owned. Hopefully we can nail down the pitcher again tonight, nail down some easy bats and valuable bats based on cheap salary, and we'll move right on with our day here. So first off, we're going to look at pitching. Like I said, I don't think you need Trevor Bauer. I think you need Tanaka tonight. He's coming off of such a good game against the Rays. He's coming into this game just with a lot of confidence. He went complete game shutout with 9 Ks. If you're over on DraftKings, they benefit you for a pitcher going a complete game shutout. You get some extra points for that. FanDuel, you do not. But either way, he still had 64 fantasy points. I think he's a 320 favorite tonight. I think he's twice the favorite of any other pitcher tonight. Easily the best guy to pick tonight, in my opinion. Definitely a cash game pitcher. I just think Tanaka is going to be a guy who you need to have. He's probably going to be a 50% or higher owned guy, especially on FanDuel where you only pick one pitcher. And I think you should also be looking at the Yankees bats, but we'll get into that when I jump into the games. As far as other pitchers go, Tyler Skaggs is in a good spot tonight at Tampa Bay. He's been pitching pretty well as of late. The only thing is he's 9,800. I don't love that price, but he is a favorite in a low total game, so maybe a GBP guy if you want to look at him. As far as anyone else goes, I don't really like Morton. He hasn't been that great as of late. He's in Seattle. You can go Bauer if you found some nice cheap bats that you're confident in. He can always light it up, but he's in Minnesota. The Twins can hit, actually, so for just about 12K, I don't know if it's really worth it. I wouldn't say don't completely fade him, but he's definitely a guy that's not a must-play in my opinion. The one cheap pitcher I want you to look at tonight is Jack Flaherty. The Rockies just aren't good when they're away, and Flaherty's been pretty goddamn good lately if you look at his game log. He's a guy that really goes under the radar. His game log's looking pretty good. The only bad start he had was in San Francisco, and I don't even know if I don't know. The past 3 games he started, he's gone 5 innings, and he's gotten 30 or more fantasy points. So at 7,700, you can't really complain about that. For a guy getting over 30. He's actually got a pretty surprising line tonight from Vegas. He's a -120 favorite with a drastically low 7 total. So I think this is the lowest total of the night, actually. So Flaherty makes for a pretty decent spot, especially on DraftKings where you need to pick 2 pitchers. I think Flaherty's like 93 or 9,400 over there. So he's a great cheaper second pitcher to go from. But that really sums up the pitching for the most part. You just want a lot of Tanaka tonight. The Orioles stink. They don't know how to win a game. And the Yankees are favorited $1 million from Vegas. So Tanaka's the guy to look at. And that's our segue to our first game. We got Orioles at Yankees. Obviously, you don't want to look at any Orioles. Scope was just traded to the Brewers, making that Brewers lineup a lot better. That's a pretty dangerous lineup over there from the NL. They could make a surprising run in the NL. So I do like that move a lot. As far as Yankees go, they're supposed to score a lot of runs tonight. They're huge favorites. It's a 9.5 total, I think. So Yankees are a 9 total. The Yankees are definitely a team you want to look at tonight. I love Stanton batting second. 4,300 is a very favorable price for him. Aaron Hicks is really hot batting cleanup, another great spot. Gardner, a little pricey at 3,400, but he is leading off. Lefty-righty matchup, not bad. And I also like Didi, 3,700. I think you should do a full Yankee stack. Whether it's cash or GBP, it's definitely the way to go. So if you have Tanaka in there, you can only pick 3 Yankees bats. And I'd say you got to go with Didi, Stanton, and Hicks. Just because we can afford those guys. Tanaka's not that expensive. 9,400 gives us some salary to work with. And there's some cheap other bats you can look from. But if you want to spend up, the Yankees are a good spot to do it tonight. For the Mets at the Nationals, this is a tough game to choose from because you have Roark and Matz who can both be pretty good at times. This isn't a favorable over-under. And Roark's coming off of an absolutely stellar performance against the Brewers in Milwaukee. Really surprising. 8 innings, 11 Ks. Do I expect him to play good again? No, just because he's a guy that can get absolutely lit up. His 3 starts before that, he gave up a combination of 28 hits and a combination of 17 runs. So he's definitely not a guy I'm relying on tonight. But I also don't like the Mets bats either. This game is basically a wash for me. The Nationals bats are just too expensive. Mats can be pretty good at times. Harper's got a lefty-lefty matchup. And Rendon and Trey Turner just are too expensive for me if I'm spending up on Yankees. This Cubs-Pirates game is a lot like the Nationals-Mets game. You got 2 pretty good pitchers featured here, but I don't like either of these pitchers just because they're not consistent and they haven't been great throughout the whole year. They've had some good shining moments, but just not consistent enough for me to pick in cash games, especially when you have Tanaka at like a minus 320 favorite. There's really no reason to go anywhere else. And there's really no valuable guys that jump out here. Maybe Ben Zobrist batting second, 2,600. But like I said, there's no need to target hitters against Jameson Taillon. I think that's how you say it. Just because he can be really good. There's no need to risk it. This Phillies at Boston game is a huge total tonight for good reason. You have Arrieta, who's been really struggling lately. And then you have Pomerantz, who has just been terrible all year. He has a tough time even making it through 4 innings, which is really pathetic. So this game is definitely a good game to pick some bats from. The best value play in this game, and he's a cash game play on all fronts, Blake Swihart. This guy is really hot. He just hit a walk-off double for them last night. He's on a 10-game hitting streak. He's like 12 for his last 27. He's almost minimum price, and Alex Cora is comfortable enough to put him in the 2-hole tonight. I like him a lot against Jake Arrieta. Arrieta's been giving up a lot of hits lately, pitching in a really tough ballpark at Fenway. I do like Swihart a lot. He's definitely a guy you want to throw in that catcher first base slot tonight. Even Mitch Moreland is a good play here, batting third, lefty-righty matchup against Arrieta. 3,200 is a very, very fair price for him. Moreland's been hitting the ball all year long. He's a good, consistent hitter. This game, like I said, has a high total. It's a 10 total, and the Red Sox are favorited, so expect the Sox to put up 5-6 runs tonight easily. And the Phillies don't really have that good of a bullpen, so if Arrieta can't really go long, expect the Sox to just keep piling it on. Moreland and Swihart. Kinsler's a better defensive player as well. He had some really good veteran personality to that locker room, so I do like that trade. Don't like him too much as a DFS standpoint tonight. Might be a little nervous tonight coming in for the Bo Sox. It's a lot of pressure. Batting sixth. I don't really like him. I really don't like many other guys in this game other than Swihart and Moreland. Cabrera's in a good spot tonight. Another recent trade. Another good fit for him. 3,200 batting cleanup against Pomerantz. That's not a bad play. And if you really want to spend up, Rhys Hoskins has a good matchup, but he is 4,500, so a lot of risk there. And then Nick Williams is a decent play batting fifth, but he's got that lefty-lefty matchup, so it's not really anything I'm considering. Like I said, guys, if you have any thoughts, just throw it in the chat room. I'll definitely answer them throughout the show. I'd like to get some talking going on in there to help some viewers and all that. The Angels at Tampa Bay. Skaggs, like I said, is in a good spot tonight. Tampa is a great spot to pitch in. So Skaggs could definitely be a good GPP play. The reason why is because he is expensive. But he could certainly have a good game here. You can maybe target some Angels hitters here just because, the Rays are having a bullpen day. Stanek never goes more than a few innings. So not even 2 innings most. So they're going to have a bullpen day. So if they're not really feeling it and they start giving up runs early, the Angels can absolutely pile it on here. I know it is a low total, but Ohtani's in a good spot batting second. 3,200 is a fair price. I say he's a good GPP play. Everyone else, though, it's kind of tough to pick from. There's no one on the Angels that have good value. I mean, Pujols is a pretty good play as well, 3K. Can't really go wrong with him. He could always go deep. I'd say Ohtani and Pujols are the best value plays out of this game. Trout is higher than ever. Not really a need to spend up there. These next 2 games are the 2 weather issue games. Cincinnati and Detroit is looking like an absolute postpone. Definitely you don't want to pick any guys from this game. Lots of rain on that forecast. And then Miami and Atlanta, not as best of a chance of a postpone, but it does look really risky there. I'm certainly not going to be looking at any guys from either game, so we're going to skip right over these 2 games just because of the rain. And let's see what you guys said. Hicks, Bird, and Didi. Yeah, I do like Bird as well tonight for the Yankees. That was one guy I kind of didn't really talk about, but he is 3,400. He hasn't been great. I would say Bird is more of a GPP play out of this game than anything. Stanton, not great home batting average, 213. Yeah, I realize that, but it's still Stanton. He's probably going to get 5 at-bats tonight, and with his power, I really can't fade him. I'm really liking him at 4,200 tonight. I think it's a very fair price. Indians and Twins here. You got Trevor Bauer, like I said. He is expensive, but he normally has a pretty good game. I'm not finding the need to spend up for him tonight, but you certainly can. So no need to look at Twins hitters. And Kyle Gibson can be really good at times. I'm not really looking to pick anyone from this game. Gibson just had an awesome performance in Fenway, one of the hardest venues to pitch in. 8 innings, 7 strikeouts. He pitched like 120 pitches in this game. So he's coming off of a really strong start. I don't really find the need to spend up on Indians hitters to any stretch just because they're all overpriced. Lindor's high. Ramirez is high. I'm going to just move on into this next game. Pretty good game to pick from here. You got Duffy against Shields. 2 pitchers that like to give it up. And you got some White Sox hitters in good spots tonight. I really like Tim Anderson batting leadoff, 2,800. He's got that lefty-righty matchup. Can't go wrong there at shortstop. Might be arguably the best shortstop value play on the slate. Anderson should get about 5 at-bats tonight. This game has a pretty eye-opening total. I think it's 9. Yep, 9, and the White Sox are just a little bit of a favorite. It's mainly a pick'em. So you go on either side here. I don't think the Royals have their lineup out yet. Last time I checked, let me try refreshing. Oh, now they do. Okay, so you got Merrifield, Gordon batting 2 against Shields. That could be a good play depending on his price. Lefty-righty matchup. Yeah, Alex Gordon's 2,300, guys. This is all of a sudden a pretty decent cash game play here. Gordon batting second against Shields, lefty-righty, 2,300. I'm definitely looking at that. I'm loving that. Even Lucas Duda batting cleanup is another great play tonight. He's only 2,600. He's got some good power. This is definitely a game you want to dip into and definitely keep a lot of your focus into this game. There's good plays on the Royals side and the White Sox side. Merrifield's a little expensive. I love Garcia batting cleanup here. Lefty-righty matchup against Duffy. He's only 3,000. He's been hitting the ball very well this year for the short time that he hasn't been hurt. But he's got a good average and he's got good power, so he's a good play tonight as well. Gordon, like I said, is a great play. And even Matt Davidson, I think I saw him batting 5th. How much is he? I think he's a catcher, first baseman. 2,600. He's a guy that can go deep too. I'd say Davidson is more of a GPP play just because his average isn't great, but he's got some good pop in that bat. So this game's definitely a good game to choose from. Colorado at St. Louis. Like I said, this game has a really low total, the lowest total on the night. Flaherty makes for a very appealing play for GPPs at 7,700. He'll allow you to spend up on a lot of bats. I don't like John Gray, and I don't like picking any hitters from this game just because of the low total and just because these two pitchers can be very good at times. There's no need to really pick any bats in this game. I don't like any of these bats for their prices at all. Both pitchers can be great, so we'll move right on into Texas at Arizona. I love the Diamondbacks once again. You got Bartolo Colon in Arizona. Colon just absolutely gets lit up at this point in his career. Diamondbacks are right there with the Yankees for the best team stack of the night. You got a minus 183 favorite and a 9 total. That's a recipe for success for the Diamondbacks tonight. I don't think they have their lineup yet. I'd love to know it. It's really tough to know. Oh, they do have it. That's awesome. All right. So you got John Jay leading off. Lefty-righty matchup. He's only 2,600. This makes for a fantastic cash game play here against Bartolo Colon. I really, really like John Jay batting leadoff. A.J. Pollock is in a good spot as well. 3,900. If you want to spend up on him, I definitely don't mind it. Batting third. And then you got Steven Souza in the cleanup spot, only 2,800. I had him all over the place last night in all my lineups, and he went deep. He had a 3-run home run to get them right back into the game. I like Steven Souza a lot. So if you haven't noticed, I really like the Diamondbacks tonight. Even Eduardo Escobar, the new acquired player from the Twins, I had him last night, and he was doing a lot. 3,500, a little expensive, but it's a good price. He's a really good player, and he should find himself in the thick of things as well. So Diamondbacks make for an awesome stack tonight, for sure. The late game's tough to predict. Like I said, there's no lineups to look at. The Athletics are in a pretty good spot against Sam Gaviglio. If Nick Martini's batting leadoff again tonight, which I expect him to because he's a left-handed hitter, he's an awesome value play at 2,500. He's been really hot since he's been consistently playing every day. So look at Nick Martini as a cash game play in this game. You can even look at Matt Olson with that lefty-righty matchup. 3,300 is a very fair price for him as well. The Athletics are favored in this game, and it is an 8.5 total, so not a bad game. Not a bad spot for the Athletics here. Dodgers at Brewers. No need to really look at Brewers, guys. Walker Buehler can have really good games. But I do like some Dodgers hitters in this game against Wade Buehler. Don't know the lineup, but I expect Chris Taylor to be leading off here. He's only 3,200 with that lefty-righty matchup against Wade Miley. He could make for a pretty good play. Depending on the lineup, Matt Kemp's a good play at 3,300. He's been hitting the ball very well this year. And even if Kiki Hernandez, 2,700 is a pretty good spot. So Kiki's wondering if you love him tonight. So you could take a look at him if he's batting cleanup or in the top of that lineup. Let's see. Manny Machado, he's always a good GPP play, but he's a little expensive. He's got that lefty-righty matchup. I'm not really liking anyone else in this game. And then Houston at Seattle to top things off. This is basically a wash of a game as well. There's really no good value here. Morton and Leak can be really good, so I'm not really looking to spend up on any of these bats here. All of them are expensive for them being the Mariners and Astros. They all have good bats, and they're all really expensive, so... unless there's like a lineup that comes out and there's a really cheap guy batting atop of the order, maybe for the Astros, look at them. But I wouldn't really target any Mariners against Charlie Morton just because he can be so good. Um, so those late games aren't really that appealing. Maybe look at some Athletics based on the lineup. Nick Martini's a good spot. And then maybe some Dodgers against Wade Miley just because it's Wade Miley and he can absolutely get torched. But for the most part, the best teams to look at tonight are the Yankees. I love the Yankees. The Phillies Red Sox should have a lot of runs scored in it. The Kansas City and White Sox game is probably the best stackable game. Some really good value going on. Arizona, atop of the charts for my favorite team stack tonight with the Yankees. I love them. Athletics a good spot, and the Dodgers are in a good spot just to sum things up. I like the Diamondback stack tonight. Jaron Bird, yeah, like I said, I do too. I'm sure a lot of people do. They'll be pretty high owned tonight, and they're all pretty fairly priced. I was hoping that David Peralta would be back tonight off his DL, but it looks like he's not. He would have been a nice cheap play with that lefty-righty matchup, but he's not playing tonight. John Jay's the best play in that game for sure at 2,600 leading off. But like I said before, guys, retweet this giveaway for NFL. Just enter yourself in the giveaway. I'll be announcing the winners on August 3rd. And until next time, I am the FD Guru. I'm signing off.